and try to talk like 3 sentences to them and think that we're going to bring revival to that nation. But the Lord really wants to raise up indigenous peoples. And so you all in here for the Philippines, you know God has a special authority on you for your own people that are here. And start going to them. Start preaching the gospel to them. Start bringing them in. Get them saved. And this is what I'm seeing. And I see the church is growing strong through this. I see the church. Here's what I see for the church. The church right now, the Lord is getting rid of every spot and wrinkle. Every blemish. And He's getting us prepared. There's a real call to unity here amongst the churches. And the churches need to get on board with unity. What the Lord did in China with the churches that weren't in unity, He kicked them all out. He did. And all the Americans had to leave because of the persecution. And the Lord raised up indigenous people, Chinese people, in that were serious about the gospel, and they brought revival to their own land. And so I do see a few Americans leaving. And this is the Lord's doing. I just tell you that one. And so don't be afraid when you see this. I'm not talking about every American, but I'm talking about some Americans that have been already in fear. And they've just been wasting, they're like time wasters here. I don't know what they're doing here, but they're wasting time. And so, that's, the Lord's really jealous, especially over money right now, over money issues. If they're milking money from other countries about what they're doing here, what they're not doing here, the Lord's really jealous about that. And so you have to, but I'm not telling you that so you start judging them or anything like that, but I'm telling you, don't get in fear when you see that happening, okay? Other than that, I believe the church is getting without spot and without wrinkle. Right now, as a church, I was telling some people this earlier, the Lord's coming back for a pure and spotless bride. And, some people think that Jesus is coming back in like 3 years. We got a little whiles to go, I think, till He comes back for a pure and spotless bride. Because you don't have to be prophetic to look at the church right now and know that she's not pure and spotless. She's like, got one tooth. She's got a bunch of wrinkles. And, her hands are bigger than her body. It's like everything is out of order. She's walking around with a limp and some crazy hair like she's got fried in a toaster or something. And this is the church, and Jesus is going, please don't send me back to that church. Because He came for a pure and spotless bride. My wife is a sign and a wonder unto me about this. She is so beautiful. And when she makes herself ready and prepares herself, she's like Esther getting prepared. She walks out, does her makeup, and combs her. Just everything's beautiful. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I drop it all at that moment and I say, honey, let's go on a date. It's like, that's what He's looking for. That's what Jesus is looking for. And so one time, I was like, Lord, I want to get something really nice for my wife. And so my wife, I come up to her, and it was our anniversary. I said, honey, what do you want for our anniversary? And she looked at me with those big eyes, and she said, I just want you. You know what I said to that? I was like, baloney. Just me. There's something on your heart, you want a gift. And that's what we've been doing to Jesus. He comes and we look in His eyes and He goes, what do you want? And we go, I just want you. And He goes, baloney. I know exactly what you want. If a woman ever says to you, man, that they just want you, there's something sneaky going on. So I was like, Lord, what can I do to show my wife that I appreciate her and her beauty? So I got her a vanity set. And a vanity set which is like a desk for all of her makeup and everything. A mirror so that she could get herself ready and she could look at this mirror. And this nice chair, it was a really deluxe chair that she could sit on while she's doing all this stuff. And it pays dividends. Let me tell you, it's awesome. But one day, while she was making herself ready, getting all prepared, she had spilled a bunch of what is it called? It was like, it's really black, dark mascara. Yeah, she spilled it on this chair, and the chair has like a cloth kind of covering that's really nice, and the chair. The top of the chair was completely stained from this mascara. And we had to go real quick, so she was looking at it like, oh no, I don't know what to do. I just totally ruined this thing. This is such a nice piece. And so we left, and when we came back, we were hanging out, and we walked into the bedroom, and it was completely gone. And we were like, oh my gosh, and my wife knew it was the Lord. Because we hadn't rubbed it with tonic or club soda or anything. We did not do any of that stuff. But it was a big stain, and the Lord had completely removed it. And so we knew that it was at that place of beautification that the Lord gets out every spot and every wrinkle. Every blemish. It's at that place where you get yourself ready. And some of you men need to know in here, you're the bride of Christ. And so it's kind of hard, us getting that concept that we're the bride of Christ. But we are, and we're getting ourselves ready. We're making ourselves beautiful so that when He comes, if you make yourself beautiful, it's going to be like my friend Steele here says, woo. That's what Jesus is going to say. Woo. And He's going to go, let's go down there, boys. And that's what He's returning for, is a beautiful, spotless bride. But we got to get ourselves prepared. And that's how do you do that? That's washing yourself with the water of the Word, the regeneration, so that you get the Word in you. It's all over you. You're meditating on it day and night. You're making yourself beautiful. I suggest Song of Solomon. That'll really work wonders for your love life with Jesus. And so you start reading Song of Solomon about the king, about how beautiful he is, and that's you and the Lord. There's real times of romance in my life with the Lord that I read Song of Solomon to Jesus. And I just read it over and over to Him. And I said, this is what it says about you, Jesus. Could you come and show me that part of you? And He does. And it's amazing. And so I really see that the Lord's going to make the bride ready. The way He's doing that is He's raising up spiritual eunuchs. These eunuchs are the ones who've been castrated from the cares of this world. And they walk into the bride and they don't touch her for their own pleasure. And a eunuch was one that had himself, he was removed from the cares of a man. And he walked into the queen and made her ready. And he was the one actually that could only see her naked outside the king, because he didn't have any cares for himself. He would never touch her out of selfish desire. And there's been a lot of ministries right now, and a lot of ministers that are touching the bride out of selfish desire. And we're going to see some spiritual eunuchs get raised up where they don't touch the bride for the selfish desire, but they get the bride ready for Jesus. And so that's not making disciples unto yourself. That's where you make disciples unto Jesus. And that's really important right now. Exactly how He wants it. And so some of you are going to be